Hello and welcome to SKTV News. You're watching Primetime English News with HEMABATI. First, the headlines. Federation of Civil Society Organizations informed Centre assures early solution to Manipur crisis without affecting state's territorial integrity. Incessant rainfall causes widespread waterlogging in several parts of Imphal, sparking concern of potential flooding. Three gates of Itai Barrage opened on rivers as rivers and Loktag Lake swell. Upstream water level drops by around 2 feet. Massive landslide triggered by incessant rainfall blocks National Highway 37, Imphal Silchar Road at Nungdalal area in Tamenglong district. More than 200 vehicles stranded. And Kuki militants reportedly opened fire from Kuki village near Chanung in Imphal East. Security forces step in to warn against repeating acts. Now let's take a look at the news in detail. Spokesperson of Federation of Civil Societies, Fox Manipur NG Jemson, has informed that Centre has assured to bring an early solution to the ongoing crisis without interfering with territorial integrity of Manipur. Speaking to media regarding the recent talk between a delegation of Fox and MHA officials, Jemson said Fox has put forth 5 key discussion points to better understand the current situation in Manipur and where things need to go during a meeting in New Delhi on May 27. He said Centre has given assurance to ensure the return of peace and normalcy in the state. He also expressed confidence that Centre will act on its assurance by adopting a new road map.
Government of India ki keno de legiram ba mai ki road map se hana sunari ba community ani ji ki marakta te community dialogue se pangtho kanda understanding develop to ba aduga tamna koi ki normalcy and peace for na ba wari se sumaina mai ki road map yaw adubu koi ki mamangi round gi matunda civil society organization pa ki go ki kanguna Government of India ga koi ki sumaina to bo keno sida koi saru ya nang kiro hai da mai ki kanda kire ba ma lora ki beze Masina ngasai su ki kambu hana guna gada bi ga na mekoina torokiba ki pot ama koi myana su engabi re ko aduna masigu ma myan sida ki mekoi su khara changes khara tawda ya roi ha ki pot ama lei bani aduna masigi tangkap sida mekoina anoba road map ama anoba strategy ama minor resolution tawda ge conflict ki ha bi la pa kan sida koi ki 5 point of discussion sina mekoi da sumba se sini ha na koina puthilaga taksaram ba ha ga aduna mekoi ki aram ba keno myam do fondo piraga asumba strategy sumber road map seasonaraga hek ami mo kai chuna irangsi mission view hai ga report ga ko na put hajaram.
The roads in and around Imphal city have been flooded following the incessant rainfall over the past 2 to 3 days due to the absence of an adequate drainage system in the city. Daily commuters have been severely affected by the flood. People commuting along Palace Compound to New Chekon Road faced even greater hardship due to the severe flooding and bad condition of the road, highlighting the lack of infrastructure even within the capital city. The same problem was also seen at New Chekon to Porompad Road. Various unhygienic items were also seen floating at Govindaji Temple Road and Andro Parking Road due to lack of proper drainage system. Incessant rain in the past 2-3 days across all districts in Manipur has resulted to swelling of most of the rivers in the state, creating possibility of flash flood. In view of the emerging situation, NHPC officials have opened 3 out of the 5 gates of Itai barrage. According to a report, the gate number 3 of the barrage was opened at 12:20 a.m. this morning, while gate number 2 and 4 were opened at 5:30 a.m. this morning. With the opening of these 3 gates, the level of water in upstream have come down by 2 feet, and upstream of the barrage is currently measured at 769.29 cubic meter, while the downstream is measured to be 765.80 cubic meters. It may be mentioned that continuous rain since May 27 has resulted to overflow of water from the barrage, creating panic among nearby residents. Locals have been voicing their demand to open the gates of this barrage ever since.
Nahan tang kun taret tagi hauna khoi hairiba gate singa se overflow oire aduna matam chana ngai ising ge thadok piu na aduki matan haijabani adubu NHPC gi maike tabi balaite aduna haujiti ango aduki matik ising se kayamu yamna overflow oire ge habu yango gate number 1, 2, 3 ngarang nungmidang gi punga mada gate number 3 asi sumnagi 10 cm singkhatpa hururaga akhoi gi line je yagidaba amadi akhoi gi department gi lairiba generator je yagidaba dagi akhoi chikpa yade du hujik ngarang ahing chupa khanna sema matungda hujik che akhoi sema loytuna gate singe makhata na chingkhana nabagi damakta project silent khongba hore do makhata ba update ong pijarake.
Massive landslide triggered by incessant rainfall over the past 3 days has completely blocked National Highway 37, Imphal Silchar Road at Nungdalal area in Tamenglong district, leaving more than 200 vehicles stranded. The landslide occurred around 7 a.m. on Friday between K Sinam and Nungnang villages, covering an estimated 30-meter stretch of the highway. Among the stranded are several oil and LPG tankers, bringing essential supplies from Silchar, Assam, and empty cargo vehicles returning from Imphal. According to local officials, the National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited has deployed excavators and heavy machinery to clear the debris and restore traffic flow. However, continued heavy rainfall is severely hindering the process of the clearance operations. Meanwhile, continuous rain and bad weather has caused power outage in Tamenglong district, and this has created huge inconveniences to the residents of Tamenglong. They have complained that every year the district faces power supply issue due to aging infrastructure and a lack of manpower. People have made several complaints to relevant authority, but the issue of power outage has not been resolved till now. The deputy manager of MSPDCL has informed that the 33 kV HT line from Rangpang to Tamenglong headquarters could not be checked due to inclement weather. The department will check the line when the weather condition improves. Kuki militants fired multiple rounds today from a Kuki village near Chanung, situated within Kundrapam Assembly constituency under Sagulmang Police Station in Imphal East district. According to a report received by SKTV, the incident took place around 11:30 a.m. when Kuki militants fired multiple rounds at a cattle herd owned by Meitei villagers after the herd accidentally wandered into the Kuki village. Security forces deployed near the area swiftly arrived at the scene and talked with the Kuki militants and urged them to refrain from such actions in the future. Delhi Meitei Coordinating Committee, DMCC, has condemned a statement made by Chief Secretary P.K. Singh about the controversial Boltabi incident at a press conference. The committee asserted that the Chief Secretary's statement is misleading the public, while arguing that expressing sorrow over the injuries sustained by multiple protesters who were demonstrating against authority regarding the controversial incident is inappropriate. DMCC stated that directing media personnel to remove the word Manipur from state-sponsored Manipur transport bus is an attack on the identity and dignity of both the state and its people. They further highlighted that representatives of COCOMI and DMCC held a meeting in Delhi on May 27 after COCOMI finished its talk with Ministry of Home Affairs. DMCC reiterated their support to COCOMI's civil disobedience movement against authority. The committee further expressed disappointment over 44 MLAs banding together to claim a popular government just recently.
COCOMI hek irang sihoro padagi protest mayam ama sinja racing racing protest mayam ama tingiba mayam se COCOMI gi mihut ka government ki DSS ne sana mina matung jadi eta moy thajaba piri e hairaga irang chanchalam se eketum ne lekhokiba adu moy thajaba pira khiba singudi amata thaba koina onthorotaba handaki jahi ani su henjale e adu handaki sumsum akoina moy de tawbirakadra na oirani na thajaba mayam piraga suja moina tawrabtrabani na thabak se moi se trustworthy nate moi gi moina nganghiba jaban se moi ngate hai se koina khangabani na paratamabani na andaki COCOMI amadi leba mayam haijaning ba se koi gi buchingba mayam elected members se di moi tumina dum lai thokabani na koina dum loina bo nazarabani na andaki koi thabak oina pangthok thre koi gi ipai phugi lingjen se sida koina amuba connotation baga chap manana ne duna koi amato ine devina se handati.
Now before we move on, it's time for a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Puya Printing Committee sarang them sagai gi yumda rol gi puya English ani kun gamanga chanam pukri mapal Imphal na thokpa jerol amagi matung inna Manipur gi tongan ba khungang lekai chamag kuntaret lomda Hunda aduna leiriba sarang them sagai gi sagai cha punamaki haurakfam maming matha yek sala yauba ahanba amadi ani suba sarang them sagai gi yumdarol puya phongkraba tungda ahum suba puya asi phongnabagi damakta sagai cha singi data lokhatpa haujare sagai cha singna English ani taragi matungda lakpa sagai gi mausing amadi icha isu singi maming matha khongatpagi thabak asida chitha nanthaba tawdanaba makhada pizariba contact number 708 4455 amadi 8837335894 da pau hobiraknaba nolokna ningsingjari ba sarangthem somorendro amadi sarangthem ibopisak.
Welcome back. You're watching SKTV Primetime English News. More news and updates. Meitei Tribe Union MMTU has strongly condemned Sadar Hills Chief Association for ill treatment of Nepali Gorkha community in Kangpokpi district, terming it as an act of forceful occupation and expansionism. In a press note, MMTU has urged indigenous communities in the state to unite in order to face the challenge posed by illegal immigration, which is being facilitated by Kuki community by bringing in more Kuki from Myanmar into Manipur. While pointing out on irregular growth in population for Kuki community, MMTU pointed out various flaws in the policy by government, which favored the influx of illegal immigrants and their settlement in the state. MMTU has called out on chieftainship, which is being practiced by Kuki community, merger of valley areas into hill districts, free movement regime and removal of Foreign Pass Act in 1951 as main reasons for expansionism and occupation by Kuki community in Manipur. It further appealed to all indigenous communities in the state to stand united and to face the challenge together. Coalition Against Drugs and Alcohol, CADA, has begun its two-day leadership program at its head office, located at Konung Mamang, today. The opening function was attended by CADA President Hijam Priyokumar, Secretary Organization Maying Bambudhi, Vice President Ningthaujam Doreen, along with around 80 CADA members. The training program was organized as part of CADA's long-standing initiative to eliminate drugs and other narcotic items from the state. During the training program, 4 different resource persons will speak about various topics in 6 sessions. Addressing the opening function, Ningthaujam Doreen stated that drug abuse is prevalent among people of all ages, from teenagers to older citizens, leading to numerous untimely deaths. He further emphasized the urgent need for local clubs, Maira Paibis and other organizations to unite in the fight against drugs and narcotic substances to safeguard future generations. Additionally, Andorain called for state government intervention and support in the battle to eradicate drug abuse. Cine Writers and Playwright Forum Manipur, CWP-FM, has held its general body meeting and appointed its new executive members. The meeting was held at Manipur State Film Development Society Auditorium. It was attended by founder member Birendra Salam, patron member Yaiskul Khairakpa, former member Aribam Shivdas Sharma, President Manaubi MM and scriptwriter Moirangthem Inau. The attendees also observed a 1-minute silence as a tribute to late CWP-FM members Chana Lukhoy, Yumnam Rupachandra Ghosh, N.S. Singh, Hyang Deben, Dinesh Tongbram and R.K. Tamfasna. The forum appointed Manaubi MM, Ketramim Subadani, Binuranjan Oinam, Sudhir Kangjam, Lai Mayum Pratap and Navakumar Khagokpam as the new President, Vice President, Secretary General, Joint Secretary, Treasurer and Information and Publicity respectively. Moving on to national news. Draupadi Murmu, the President of India, has presented the National Florence Nightingale Awards for the year 2025 to nurses at a function held at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. The award was presented to 15 nurses from across the country, including Lema Pokpam Ranjita Devi, a nurse from Manipur. The award was presented by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare as a mark of recognition for the meritorious services of nurses. It included a certificate of merit, cash reward of 1 lakh rupees and a medal. Union Home Minister J.P. Nadda also commended the awardees, lady health visitors and auxiliary nurse midwives. In a post on X, J.P. Nadda emphasized that nurses are the pillars of India's healthcare system, saving countless lives every single day. The Union Minister added that this well-deserved recognition celebrates the nurses' dedication to serving humanity and will motivate them to keep making a positive impact in future. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge targeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi over rising bank frauds in the last 11 years, saying that fraud and factory runs in the veins of PM Modi's government. In a post on X, Mallikarjun Kharge wrote that in the 11 years of Modi government, there have been bank frauds worth 6,36,992 crores, which is an increase of 416%. Even after demonetization, the number of fake Rs 500 notes increased by 291% in the last 6 years. This year, it is the highest. Taking a dig at Prime Minister Modi for his remarks that Sindoor runs in his veins, the Congress President said, "Modi ji, we don't know what is in your veins, but it is certain that your government definitely has fraud and fakery in its veins." In a big moral booster for non-officer ranks in Central Armed Police Forces, CAPF Minister of Home Affairs has decided to confer an honorary rank on personnel below officer rank in the Central Armed Police Forces and Assam Rifles. The honorary rank is 1 rank higher, which will be conferred on the day of their retirement. The incentive approved by Home Minister Amit Shah for CAPF personnel retiring from the rank of constable up to sub-inspector level. However, they will not be granted any financial or pension benefits. Upon retirement, a CAPF constable who meets the eligibility criteria will be conferred the honorary rank of head constable. A head constable, that of assistant sub-inspector, an assistant sub-inspector of sub-inspector, and a sub-inspector of inspector upon retirement. In case of Assam Rifles, a rifleman will retire as Havildar, a Havildar as warrant officer, a warrant officer as Naib Subedar, and a Naib Subedar as Subedar. The decision aims to boost the self-respect, pride and morale of personnel retiring from the rank of constable to sub-inspector. The honorary rank shall be granted based on the recommendation of the concerned commanding officer. No financial or pension benefits will be admissible along with the honorary rank. Officials of Ministry of Education, led by Joint Secretary Armstrong Pami, participated in the second Education Working Group meeting, which was held under the G20 presidency of South Africa. In a meeting which was held from May 27 to 29, India shared key achievements under the National Education Policy 2020, including progress in early childhood care and education, skilling initiatives, qualification frameworks, and micro-credentials through initiatives such as Jadwi Pitara, Nipun Bharat, Swayam and Swayam Plus. India also congratulated the South African presidency for successfully convening the meeting and reaffirmed its commitment to fostering collaboration, sharing best practices and learning from fellow G20 members. Supreme Court has directed that the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test for postgraduate courses NEET PG 2025, scheduled to be held on June 15, must be conducted in a single shift instead of the previously planned two. A bench led by Justice Vikram Nath and comprising Justices Sanjay Kumar and N.V. Anjaria passed the order while hearing a plea challenging the notification that had allowed the exam to be conducted in two separate shifts. The court observed that holding the exam in two shifts would lead to arbitrariness, as different sets of question papers can never be said to be having an identical level of difficulty or ease. It emphasized that conducting the examination in multiple shifts compromises fairness and uniformity among candidates. The bench further directed the concerned authorities to make necessary arrangements for a single shift examination and ensure complete transparency in the process. The decision comes amid growing concerns about the integrity and standardization of national level entrance examinations. Now moving on to the weather report. According to ICAR Regional Center Imphal, state's maximum temperature was recorded at 24.5 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature was 22.5 degrees Celsius. The maximum relative humidity was measured to be 93% in the morning and 98% in the evening. Manipur received 20.4 millimeters of rainfall in the past 24 hours. Now, before we wrap up for today's English news, let's take a quick look at the headlines once again. Federation of Civil Society Organizations informs Centre assures early solution to Manipur crisis without affecting state's territorial integrity. Incessant rainfall caused widespread waterlogging in several parts of Imphal, sparking concern of potential flooding. Three gates of Ithai Barrage opened as rivers and Loktak Lake swell. Upstream water level drops by around 2 feet. Massive landslide triggered by incessant rainfall blocks National Highway 37, Imphal Silchar Road at Nungalal area in Tamenglong district. More than 200 vehicles stranded. And Kuki militants reportedly opened fire from Kuki village near Chanung in Imphal East. Security forces step in to warn against repeating acts. Now that's all we have for today's English news. Thank you for watching SKTV. Keep watching for more news and updates. Have a good night.